Hello, hello, hello. How are you? I am so pumped about tonight. Welcome to Fully Committed. It is going to be incredible. We are live here, so what I would love for you to do is please put in the chat, tell me where you are from. For those of you that do not know, I am Robert Hartwell. I'm the founder and artistic director of the Broadway Collective here in New York City. We are going to get started in just a minute, but I want to make sure that you have a few things before we get started. One, make sure that you have that PDF printed off. If you don't, it's literally right underneath me, so you can just click there and you can follow along. But we are going to tonight be going through one, the thing that you should be fully committed to, 1, 2, and 3, those worksheets. We are also going to be looking at that, a letter to myself. If you did not write a letter to yourself, you better write one really quickly. And the third and final thing, which I am so excited to go through with you tonight, is the My Broadway Behavior Model. Boom. So I am going to, oh my gosh, you guys are coming in and it is so exciting. I love it, I love it, I love it. So I am going to just make sure this is being shared on all of our outlets, and then we will get right into the work. All right, I'll see you in just a second. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited and honored to be able to have this conversation with you tonight. So to all of our students and our parents out there, welcome to Fully Committed, a call to action for serious musical theater students. So here's the thing, friends. We've taken a great deal of time over the last few weeks to think about what do we value at the Broadway Collective. And what we value are well-rounded humans who want to change the world through the lens of musical theater. That is going to take work, that is going to take dedication, and that is going to take the courage to do something different. So tonight is not going to be your typical Broadway Collective evening where you're gonna run out, feeling like you just had an hour and a half with the Oprah of musical theater. No, it's going to be a call to action, because here's the thing. You deserve to know the truth, because my job as your educator is to prepare you. And I can only do that in truth. You must know that it's always going to be steeped in love, but it must be truth. So tonight, like I've already said, is not for everyone. What we are going to do is we are going to, one, get over the idea of celebrity, and we are going to get to the root of how you're going to get to where you say that you want to get. And that, my friends, is going to be connected to some fully committed hard work. So let's dig in. All right, before we can go any further tonight, we need to know that what we are going to be calling out tonight is behavior. That is the root of all of our action. It's behavior. So research shows that germs spread between people, and so do emotions and behaviors. Y'all, fear is contagious. Apathy is contagious. But on the flip side, motivation is contagious. Excellence is contagious. So with all of that said, I'm here to let you know that you need to surround yourself with experts in the field if that is who you want to become. Because I say it all of the time, big dreams require big training. And as you know, tonight we are going to be covering the 3 things that you need to be focusing on, and it's going to be pretty awesome. So just some housekeeping. 1, please watch this with your parents. If your parents are not with you right now, go get them. Say, hey folks, sit down with me. I promise I'm going to have us out of here in less than an hour. This is a very important conversation, not just for you as the student, but also the parents. And if you are a parent of an aspiring artist, 1, thank you for being here. All right, second piece of housekeeping, silence your cell phones. Y'all turn those phones off, put your TikTok away, put your Instagram away. Let's just focus in, because we have a lot to get through in this hour. But for those of you that do not know me, I'm Robert Hartwell. I'm the founder and artistic director of the Broadway Collective. And when I was 7, I told my single mom that I wanted to be on Broadway. And when I was 23, we got the opportunity to make my Broadway debut. And I say it all of the time, I did not get the opportunity to make my Broadway debut. We did, because it took a village. It was a village of teachers. It was a village of family and friends and leaders in our community. Like, all of us were up on that stage that night. And that picture is actually from my Broadway debut in Memphis the Musical. And since Memphis, I have performed in 5 Broadway musicals: Memphis, Nice Work If You Can Get It, Cinderella, Motown, and most recently, Hello Dolly with Bette Midler. And I've also been in 2 national tours, Dreamgirls and also Motown the Musical. And I've performed at the Tonys 3 times, which has been incredible, and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade 2 times. I am a high school graduate of the University of North Carolina School of the Arts. I also just said the word high school, so we're high school. I'm a high school graduate of the North Carolina School of the Arts, and I'm a summa cum laude BFA in musical theater graduate from the University of Michigan. Go Blue for all of you Wolverines out there. I am also a director and choreographer. My work has been seen at Lincoln Center, the University of Michigan, Music Theater of Wichita, Pace University. I recently was the assistant director on the Once on This Island First National Tour and North Carolina Theater. And when I am not busy directing and choreographing and performing on Broadway, my proudest accomplishment, besides being my mom's son, is being the founder and artistic director of the Broadway Collective. And we have been here since 2016 using curriculum-based learning programs to help students achieve the dreams that they say that they want to achieve. So, truly when I think about it, and what I know for sure, is we are training the next generation of Broadway artists. And I want to just take a minute, if I can, and talk about where you are versus where you could be. So let's take a beat really quickly and let's talk about the wins that you want. And I really gleaned a lot of this from the survey that you all did before tonight. And these wins, I'm really excited about, are right in line with the wins that our students in Hello Broadway are currently getting. 1, you want acceptances into competitive high school and college programs. If that is something that you want, you are in the right place tonight, all right? 2, you want to be landing leading roles. If that is something that you want, my friend, you are in the right place tonight. We are going to talk about how you do that. You want to also build an audition-ready arsenal of repertoire. Now, here's the thing that I love about Hello Broadway. So many of our students, we start at age 12. We have people in up to their 40s and 50s that are in the program. No joke, because here's the thing. The training never stops. Kate Lumpkin, who is our head of education, always says, this is not an hour-long training. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to work on this week. No, boo-boo. This is a lifetime of work. This is a career. This is a dedication. And when I think of all of the online, master classes that are popping up online right now, I'm thinking to myself, those are experiences. That is not training. Sitting on Zoom for, 30 minutes with your Broadway idol, my loved of, that is an experience. That is not consistent week-to-week training, and that is what is going to send you over the edge. That is what's going to put you into the 1% pile. If you are with me, can I please get an amen in the comments? The second is a resilient confidence and work ethic, because if you don't want those things, again, you are not in the right place tonight. We are building resilient and confident, forward-thinking workers here. And the last, one of our students even got a Broadway final callback. If those are the type of wins that you want, my friend, you are in the right place tonight. I have said it before, but this past college season, 100% of our students either passed their pre-screens or were accepted into a college theater training program. Am I proud of that? Oh my gosh, yes, because I know that the curriculum works. I know that our teachers work, but what I know most is that our students have learned to work. They've learned to do something different, and they've learned how to train competitively to be a part of the 1%. Here is a select list of some of the schools that our alumni are currently attending. And, my final question to you is, how hard do you want to work? All right, so I am getting pumped because here's the thing. We are getting ready to get into the fully committed part of tonight of why you are here. So again, friends, if you are just joining us, 1, you're late, but 2, make sure that you have your Broadway behavior model. We are getting to that next, and then we are going to be breaking down the 3 things that you need to be fully committed to. And also, please make sure that you have your yellow marker or colored pencil, your red and your green. We will be using those in just a minute. But before we go any further, I told y'all tonight was going to be truth. And one thing that's just crystal clear, and that is just as black and white as it comes, is that Broadway isn't a dream or a hobby. This is a career. And I talk to literally hundreds of parents every single month, whether it be in our inbox or whether it be on Facebook or through our Instagram, that, do not see this as a career. And that is why they are hurting their child in the ways that they are allowing them to train, because they don't see it as seriously as the student that says, I'm academically gifted and I want to go to college and be a lawyer. Great, get them in Kumon, right? Or the student that says, hey, I want to dunk, I can dunk. Great, go get him an NBA coach, right? No, the same is true for Broadway. And I'm going to break down some numbers really quickly for you. Give me 1 second. All right, so let me break down these numbers for you. So 1, Broadway contributed more than $12.6 billion to the economy of New York City on top of ticket sales and supports 87,000 local jobs. Whoa. Second, the entry-level salary. Let me say that one more time for the people in the back. The entry-level salary, one more time. The entry-level salary for a Broadway performing artist who books an ensemble role is $8,000 per month. That is $100,000 per year with a 401k. Now let's just take a step back really quickly. When I graduated out of college, my first job was on the Dreamgirls National Tour. That was a Broadway production contract. So think about being 21 years old, just graduating school, and getting a contract for $100,000 a year plus a 401k. This is what training can do for you. Yes? So the next thing that I want to talk about is there is no plan B, because I know so many parents and even students say this, you need to get something sensible. No, that is a lie that you are telling yourself, and you need to let go of that, because you would not say that to your student that says, I want to be a dentist. You would say, oh great, go on, right? You would not say that to your student who says, I want to be a biochemist. You would say, amazing, go on. You would not say that to your student that says, I want to study at the seminary. You would not say, go get a plan B to any of those things. So why would you then do it to arts education? One, it is highly dangerous to your student to look at their dream and put a metric system on it of whether it is valid or whether it is not. That is dangerous. And what I can tell you from mentoring students over the past few years, it's hurtful and it has a lasting impact. And as someone that has spent the last 10 years of my career as a Broadway performer and educator here in New York City, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm in my 30s, and I still see people who are wounded in their 30s, in their 40s, because their parents said, be sensible. This is not a career. I just want to go back to those stats one more time. That's $100,000 a year at 21 years old if you come out of school and book a Broadway show, okay? Y'all, that's a career. So that's all I'm going to say about that. There is no plan B, but there's a little caveat. You have to do the work, all right? Okay, so I am not even gonna lie. For those of you that have worked with me before, you know that I am a complete nerd when it comes to education. It is what I love. But my mom is a scientist, my dad is a teacher, so education has always been very huge in my house. So I want you to know that this is going to be very, very revolutionary, what we talk about tonight. If we really take time to be honest with where we are in this My Broadway behavior model. So I'm asking you to come to it with honesty, and I'm asking you to come to it also with courage to be bold, to do something different, okay? You will need for this exercise your red, your yellow, and your green markers or colored pencils. But the first thing that we're gonna do is just fill in all of these circles, and I'll explain it. So if you have a pencil or a pen, you can use that for this section. I will tell you when we get to the marker section, okay? So my Broadway behavior. Let's talk about it. So in the center of this model, it is what we want. If you are on this call tonight, you are either a student or a parent of a student who desires at the center of their life to know that their calling is Broadway. Your student has a keen desire to study musical theater at the high school and or collegiate level, has a high desire to move to New York City, is high achieving and says, I don't know how, but I know, like how Robert said at 7 years old, hey mom, I want to be on Broadway, that Broadway is where I'm called. That's where I'm going to be. So that's why we put Broadway in the center, all right? Now, what you are going to need and want and desire is you are going to want to be confident, right? You're going to want to be confident. You're going to want to know that I deserve to be here, as Kate Lumpkin always says. Confidence is key, and that is the first thing that we are always training our students on is be a confident individual who is proud of the work that they are doing in this world. The other thing that you are going to want and desire is you are going to want to be winning. I have been an actor here in New York City for 10 years, and every single year there has never been a January 1st where I woke up and said, I don't want to work professionally this year. No. Every single January 1st, I have said, I want to book another Broadway show. I want to book a commercial this year. I want to open up a musical theater education company this year. It has always been, how can I go to the next level, right? So I want to be confident. I want to be winning. And lastly, I want to be changing. More than ever, than right now, that is why we are here. Yes, at the center of this thing is Broadway. We all want Broadway. We want to sing, we want to dance on Broadway, we want to be confident, we want to be winning, but we do all of that because we have the responsibility as artists to be the change in the world that we know is needed. And I will tell you right now, when you do get to Broadway, when you do amass a following, when you do get the opportunity to meet key players in the industry, you then have a seat at the table to have a conversation of change that is much bigger than you. And you're like, Robert, what does that mean? The conversation that we had last week around Black Lives Matter in the Collectively Seeking Broadway group, that was a conversation that, again, it started with what? That seed in the center of, I want to be on Broadway. I'm going to want to be confident. I'm going to want to be making wins, but I am going to want to be changing the world. Because here's the thing, friends. I do not believe any of us are blessed with this dream in the center of Broadway, the confidence, or the wins, if we're not going to then share what we have been given. Yes, that is why we are here. So if we are all on board with that, put in the comments for me, yes, all right? I'm getting really excited. Again, I've been super excited to teach this model tonight. Now we are going to move on to, in your workbook, to get to Broadway, you have to be fully committed to one, right? Number one, get your pen out. Get that piece of paper out that says, to get to Broadway, you have to be fully committed to one. That is training. You have to be fully committed to your training. Because here's the thing. If you don't have training, I don't know how you're going to do this. Legit. You're going to have to be a well-rounded performer who is highly trained to be able to be in highly competitive situations. It's just like what you're asking of Olympic athletes. It's just like what you're asking of your doctor. I have never been to a doctor's office where I did not go and research that doctor up and down and read every single review that I could about that doctor, right? And I want to know, where did he go to school? Where did she go to school? Where did they go to school, right? Training matters. Let's just be real. Training matters. The second thing that you are going to need to be fully committed to, number one, again, is what? Training. Put it in the comments right now. Fully committed to training. I need to see that come in the comments right now. The second piece that you are going to want to be fully committed to is connections. You are going to have to be connected to the right people, right? It's not only what you know, aka training, it's who you know, aka connections. I cannot tell you the number of jobs, probably all of my Broadway jobs that I've had, that have been directly connected to who I knew, directly connected to where I got my training, directly connected to who in the industry was connected to that training academy. Yes, where you train matters. Who you are connected to matters. We have to be fully committed, even at your age right now. If you are 12, you need to be fully committed to your training. If you are 16, you need to be fully committed to your connections, yes? And the third thing that we need to be fully committed on, and we have to be in alignment on this, y'all, the third thing is we have to be fully committed to our stamina. Because here's the thing. This is not a little sprint. I say it all the time. This is a marathon. And people, I'll never forget, my first year on Broadway, dad my dad came to see me in Memphis, and he loved Memphis. And he said, he calls me Rob Boy. He's like, Rob Boy, why aren't you, why my family lives on some of them live on Long Island, and I'm in New York City. Why on your day off, why don't you come, visit us, come hang out with us? And mind you, it's like a 2-hour drive. And I said, Dad, I think when you see this show, you may understand why after I do a show on Tuesday, and then I have rehearsal and then I have 2 shows on Wednesday, and then I have rehearsal on Thursday from 12 to 5, and then a show at 7, and then on Friday I have rehearsal from 12 to 5, and then a show at 8, and then Saturday I have a show at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., and Sunday I have a show at 3 p.m. That's 8 shows per week and 10 hours of rehearsal per week. I think you can see why having 1 day off a week, I am exhausted, right? But that is why right now we have to, even at your age, I don't care how old you are, this is not about age tonight, friends. This is about the center of the circle. The center of the circle is, what do you say that you want? You are here because you say that you want Broadway. So you have to, number 1, be fully committed to your training. Number 2, you have to be fully committed to your connections, even now, even now, even now. And number 3, you have to be fully committed to your stamina. Now, let's take a little deeper dive here. If you are with me, can you just put between a scale of 1 to 10, 10, oh my gosh, I'm here for this, 1, I'm lost, scared, and confused. Give me some 1 to 10s right now in the comments. All right, so let's dig a little deeper. So, without the right training, without being a total, full-bodied artist that is able to be a singer, a dancer, an actor, and an understudy, and or a lead, you are going to be what? You are going to be unmarketable. Because here's the thing, I already said earlier, Broadway is a business. When I graduated from the University of Michigan with my BFA in musical theater, and I went and had interviews with casting directors, talent agents, and talent managers, the first thing they wanted to know before I even got an appointment was, where did you train? Where did you train? Where did you train? Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you act? If you cannot do all 3, you are not going to be marketable at my agency. Because here's the thing. Think about it like this. Who do you think a producer is going to hire? The person that can only dance, or the person like me, who can dance, who can sing, who can act, and who can also understudy the lead if I don't book it? Yeah? You have to be the most valuable player. This is a business. You must be marketable. Marketable means committing fully to your training, all right? So, we don't want that. Connections. If you do not fully commit to your connections, you will be what, my love? You will be unreliable. Because what did I say earlier? It's not only what you know, it's who you know. And I'm here to let you know that there has never been a Broadway show that I have booked that someone on the creative team did not call a teacher from my high school, did not call a teacher from my university, did not call my stage manager from another show that I've been in, did not direct message a friend of a friend of a friend on Instagram to say, hey, what's working with Robert like? Your reputation precedes you, and your reputation matters. So if you are not going to fully commit to connections in the who that you know now, you're going to be unreliable. People will not be able to vouch for you. Again, Broadway is a business. I said it earlier. This conversation is not for everyone tonight. This is for the people who say in the center of that ring, what do I want? I want Broadway. I want to be confident, I want to be winning, and I want to be able to use my art to change the world. What is it going to take? It's going to take a full commitment to training. It's going to take a full commitment to the connections, and it is going to take a full-bodied commitment to stamina. Because here's the thing. If you don't have stamina, you're unemployable. Real talk. 8 shows a week on Broadway is hard, okay? It's like, it's nonstop. I say all of the time, it's the most enjoyable hamster cage you will ever get in your life. But literally, you do not stop running. I would go from one show to the next, to the next. Thank you, Lord. Very grateful for it. But I had to be fully committed to my stamina because when I left Broadway show number 3 to get to Broadway show number 4, the stage manager of Broadway show number 4 called Broadway show number 3 and said, hey, where's Robert's stamina right now? He's been kind of hitting it hard for the past couple of years. Is he, what kind of shape is he in? Where's his mind? Where's his spirit? Where's his body? I kept up my stamina and I kept getting employed. Yes, because what was at the center and is at the center of my circle? Broadway. What surrounds it? I want to be confident, I want to always be winning, and I want to be changing the world. Why? Because I have training. 2, I have connections, and 3, I have a dedication to the stamina, because what do I not want to be? I don't want to be unmarketable. I refuse that for my life. I don't want to be unreliable. I refuse that for my life. And I do not and will not be unemployable because I refuse that for my life. And until you get serious about those things, that center of the circle, friends, is not going to happen, all right? Again, we are here for Fully Committed, a call to action for serious musical theater students tonight, because what I cannot do as your educator, what I cannot do as the person that says I can get you the wins, I can help you, I can't not tell you the truth. I have to keep it real. I don't sugarcoat, but that is how I look at our alumni and I say, yo, boo, you're winning, yeah? So let's move forward. How y'all doing? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, ooh, I'm having fun. So now that we know what it is that we are going to need to be fully committed to, both our training, our connections, and our stamina, let's break it down a little more specifically what it is we are going to need in each area, okay? So in training, you are going to need to be able to act. And you're like, Robert, why did you start with acting? Well, the last time I checked, acting is the basis of all storytelling. You are going to have to be a storyteller. You are going to have to be able to pick up a piece of script at an audition cold, and you are going to have to be able to read it as though you wrote it yourself. You're going to have to be a believable actor. You're going to have to be able to look at a scene partner, and even if you don't personally like that person, you're going to have to be able to act your way through that scene to get those 3,000 people in the audience to say, oh my God, they fell in love, yes? So acting is going to be point number 1 of what you are going to need. You're going to need the acting training. 2, you are going to need the vocal training, singing. So many people say to me, Robert, I only dance. Well, boo, last time I checked, up there at the top right-hand corner, that thing says my Broadway behavior. On Broadway, we have musicals. Musicals require singing. And yes, everyone has to sing. I do not care if your leg is up here and you can do 20 million pirouettes, because you know what? The casting director cannot cast 40 people in the ensemble. They can cast 15 to 20. So they're going to cast the dancer that says, okay, I'm going to start training my singing and my acting because I'm going to have to understudy one of the featured or principal roles. I'm here to tell you that's how it happens if, again, you want to be at the center of the circle, which is Broadway. Moving on, dancing. I know that dancing brings up so many feelings for people, but here's the thing. There's a reason why I went acting, singing, and dancing, because here's the thing, friends. You're going to have to be able to tell stories comfortably and fluidly and joyously with your body. Not just with your body, but with your voice and with your mind and with your intellect as an actor. Because think about this in a musical. When you are watching a scene, and for parents out there, a scene is when 2 people are talking to each other. And when you're talking to let's think about like a Fred and Ginger, like a Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers movie really quickly. Movie musical. Let's go back in time for a second. When you think about what they were doing, what were they doing? They were talking to each other. Fred was saying, hey, Ginger, ba, 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 ba. And Ginger was saying, oh, Fred. And then they would get so enraptured with each other, they would start singing a song, and they start using their voices, and they start singing about how much they love each other and how much they love this moment. And then when the singing would take their bodies over and they couldn't talk anymore, they couldn't sing anymore because they had sang their highest note, what would they do? They would start to dance. So you are going to have to be able to do all three things. You're going to have to be a full-bodied storyteller with your acting, a full virtuosic singer, and you are going to have to be a dancer that is able to go into all realms, both classic material, both contemporary material, and also both stylistic. And if you're like, Robert, what's stylistic? I'm talking about hip-hop. Why is that important? Because look at shows like Hamilton. It is the future of Broadway. Broadway is changing, but one thing that will never change is the training that is going to be required. Acting, singing, and dancing. All right, moving on. As far as connections, it starts with your peers. You are the sum of the people that you hang out with, all right? Again, I told y'all I was a nerd, so I'm just gonna break a stat down for you really quickly. This was published in Education Weekly. A study called Spread of Academic Success in a High School Social Network showed that students were more likely to improve their GPA if they had friends who got good grades. Well, duh, right? But here's the moral of the story. Hang out with high-performing people and their magic dust will rub off on you. Because here is the thing. I hear all of the time from students that say, I don't have anyone in my peer group, in my community, in my studio, at my local theater that understands me. Well, I'm here to let you know that is affecting the center of the circle, Broadway. Because your peer group, it matters. The next thing I want to talk to you about as far as your connections are the teachers. Who are you getting your education from? Who is teaching you? Yes? Who is pouring into you? There are so many people out there that have no business pouring into students, yes? Either because they are ill-informed or they have just not done the work, both as a teacher and also as a person, yes? A quote, another study, y'all, I get excited about this stuff. If you are trying to achieve a goal, the more often that you monitor your progress, the greater the likelihood that you will succeed according to research from the Psychological Association. Your chances of success can even be more likely if you report your progress publicly or physically record it. That is what we do at Hello Broadway every single week. We make students put their work in a public forum of our community, right? To show. And here's the thing, if the American Psychological Association says that this works, I believe them. Because here's the thing, if you're serious about working on Broadway, if that is truly the thing that's at the center of your circle, then you need mentors and teachers who can hold you accountable, monitor your progress, and give you feedback on the work that you publicly submit so that you can improve. And here's the thing, you need a public forum like an online classroom for best results. I hope I am helping somebody out today. Moving on, the next thing that you are going to need as far as connections are an alumni-based network. What are the people that you are currently, who are the people that you are currently locally studying with? Who are they? And what have their alumni done? You need to take a deep dive. Have their alumni got to the center of the circle? Yeah? And here's the thing, I am not here to poo-poo on local arts training. I am living proof that it works. But what I had to do is I had to connect with people that were in the industry, people that were doing the thing that I said that I wanted to do, people that were in the center of the circle, so that I could get to the center of the circle myself. I hope this is making sense. I got the opportunity a little earlier to talk to some of our current Hello Broadway students as well as some of our alumni of the program, and now I want to talk to them and hear what they have to say about connections. Yes? What does that mean to them and how does that translate into our program and curriculum? Let's hear what they have to say.
Through this online community, I have made so many friends that I talk to every day, and I know that I will have a lifelong bond with these people.
This community is, to me, and it's like, okay, I'm not crazy, I'm not being stupid for wanting to actually pursue this, because all of these people want the same thing as me, and they're out there.
I have never met so many people who want to do what I do, who love what I love.
We are all here because we want the same things. We all are here because we want to work. And we're going to cheer each other on and not tear each other down. And I was just so used to the tearing each other down part that it was like a breath of fresh air.
Being in the Hello Broadway community and seeing all the people that are like dancing just as good as you are and singing better than you are and acting like, it pushes me to be better. And I think it's put me in a different mindset. I don't think I would have that mindset without Hello Broadway, because that was when I first was able to be around people just as determined as me.
One of the things that I think gets into young teenagers that want to be Broadway performers is they think it's not cool to care. But through Hello Broadway, they're like, no, it's okay to care, and it's more than okay to care and go full out every time and put 3 to 5 hours every week into this training.
Getting to work with people that are in the industry now just has a completely different vibe with it. And I feel like it inspires you more when you see that people are doing what you want to do and now they're passing that knowledge on to you. It put me in a more professional headspace and made me think of myself more as a professional. And then my training came first, and that definitely did not come until I went to Hello Broadway.
Moving on. And do not worry, we're going to break it down just a little bit more. I'm going to give you all some examples. Let's talk about now stamina. So with stamina, the first thing is mental wellness. Yes, we do not talk about it enough in our culture, but what we do at Hello Broadway is we talk about it. Yes, we talk about it, and it should be talked about because it is the only way that you are going to be able to go for this dream, to deal with the rejection that comes on a daily, if not hourly basis. Yes? Stamina, mental wellness. The next thing is time commitment. Nobody wants to talk about it, but here's the thing. You're wasting a lot of time in your life at programs right now that are not going to give you the results that you say that you want to get. Where are you investing your time? People tell me all the time, I don't have time or I don't have money. No, you don't want to make time and you don't want to make money. Because here's the thing, if you want to be at the center of the circle, you're going to figure out a way to make it happen. I have a quote that I say all of the time. Discipline is remembering what you want, all right? So, time commitment. This is by Dr. Gail Matthews. 1, write down your goal. Break your goal into weekly action items and commit to delivering a weekly progress update. Then the likelihood that you reach your goal jumps from 33 to 76%. Moral of the story, boo, you need Hello Broadway because we give you weekly assignments. We keep you on a schedule, moving steadily towards your dream. And the last thing that I want to talk about regarding stamina are our words. What do you say about yourself? What are the limiting beliefs that you are holding yourself back saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I'm not able? The words that follow I am will be. Yes, and that is something that we harness at Hello Broadway to get our students around, because if you do not harness your acting, your singing, your dancing, the peer group around you, your teachers, the alumni network, your mental wellness, your time commitment, and the words that you say about yourself, you will not find confidence, you will not find wins, and you will not have the ability to change the world, because you, my friend, I do not believe will get to what you say you want to get to, which is at the center of the circle, which is Broadway. So a British journal of health psychology said, if you state your intention using specific language during the next week, I will partake in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on X date at X time in X place, then the likelihood that you actually do the dang thing jumps from 35 to 91%. Can I get an amen? If I can, put it in the comments. All right, friends. So I want to talk about one of our students, Hunter, who trained with Hello Broadway, and he was recently accepted to 12 BFA musical theater programs. And as you can see, Hunter said, so much of my college audition success I grant to the Hello Broadway Online Academy, where we are given the chance to be coached by incredible people. The list is endless. The connections I have made and growth I have seen in myself is amazing. So what I want everyone now to do, this is going to be the interactive time where you go on ahead and pull out that green, that red, and that yellow marker, because we are going to examine where Hunter was before he started Hello Broadway, and then we're going to examine what happened after he started working in Hello Broadway. And as you can see, I think with 12 musical theater BFA acceptances, the work works if you let it. So this is my Broadway behavior model, and go on ahead and put your name there as well. So, and we're gonna look really quickly. So just so you know, green means I am nailing it. I have 100% all of those things that you're getting ready to say. Yellow means I've got some of them. I've got a good majority of them. And yellow means, and red means absolutely not. Yes, I'm gonna give you some key metrics that you are going to need to be honest with yourself. Don't just be giving yourself a green because you're feeling cute today. That's not gonna help you, okay? I'm gonna say what we are doing in Hello Broadway, and you're gonna tell me if you are getting that in your training, yes? If you are like, oh, absolutely yes, give yourself a green. If it's a no, that's not happening, give yourself a yellow. If no, this is not happening, give yourself a red, okay? All right, so in acting, before Hunter began with us, I said, hey, are you getting 9 monologues coached every single year? Comedic, dramatic, and Shakespearean monologues. Hunter said no, because here's the thing. At the time, Hunter was not working on Shakespearean text. Every single trimester in Hello Broadway, we work on Shakespeare. Why? Because you're gonna have to do it in college auditions, yes? So work on it now. Work smarter, not harder, yes? Then we wanted to look at the singing. So where are you in acting? Do you have those comedic, dramatic, and Shakespearean monologues ready to go? 9 of them. Let me know. Red, yellow, or green. Then we looked at Hunter's singing. Do you have 9 musical theater songs audition ready? Golden Age up-tempo, Golden Age ballad, contemporary up-tempo, contemporary ballad, and pop songs? Because that's what we do in Hello Broadway. Give yourself a yellow, green, or red. At that point, Hunter was at a yellow when he started with us, yes? Now, we're gonna look at Hunter's dancing. I said, all right, so Hunter, do you have the stylistic of the hip-hop, the contemporary musical theater, something like Wicked, and then something golden age like Hello Dolly? Do you have 9 musical theater dances in your audition arsenal that you could pull out at a moment's notice to do a self-tape? And you've been personally coached by Broadway performers to also go over your character study and your MP3s. Hunter was at a red. For a no, okay? So let me know where you are right now. So I'm gonna ask you for acting, what color are you? Put in the comments right now. For singing, where are you? Put it in the comments right now. And for dancing, where are you? Now we're gonna look at connections. I said, Hunter, let's look at the people you are hanging out with, yes? Do you have a 24 supportive peer learning community? Students 12 and up that know that grades and test scores matter, and an average GPA of 3.65. At that time, kind of so-so. Not mad, yeah? But maybe he didn't, and I know he didn't, have students that were also as highly centered and focused on that Broadway goal as him, yes? Then I said, all right, let's look at your teachers. Who is currently teaching you in your local arts community? Because here's the thing. There are 22 musicals on Broadway. Our coaches are currently represented in 18 of them. 93% of our coaches hold BFA degrees from the top musical theater programs in the country. You can currently see our teachers in 18 shows out of 22. It's kind of amazing. But the next thing I said, and Hunter's like, no, Robert, I don't. And that's okay. That's okay. That's where he was before, right? And then I said, all right, let's look at your alumni. You know, where are the people in your local community that you're currently training at? Where are they going? Where are they going? Because 100% of our graduating seniors, like I said earlier, they either pass their pre-screens or were accepted into college theater training programs. Our students are training at the top universities, landing lead roles, getting Broadway final callbacks, and building a resilient confidence that will translate into every aspect of their life. The next thing that I said, Hunter, let's talk about mental wellness. Where are you? What are the conversations around this in your local arts training? What's happening locally for you? Because at Hello Broadway, we have a licensed therapist, a life coach, and a BOLD certified student development director that are on our Hello Broadway staff. And BOLD is a revolutionary program that is all about body positivity. That's what we are doing. Hunter did not have that kind of support in his local arts community. And then I said, let's talk about time commitment. Are you able to, oops, and that's a typo on my slide, I apologize. Are you putting in 3 to 5 hours a week into your work and committing to that level of work? That was a no. That was a no. And then thinking about the words that you are using, because I always say our words are always going to be steeped in love and honesty, and they must build up our students, but in truth. And we also believe that no, if, and can't do not exist here. So after all of that, that's where Hunter was. I would say that that is a ring of fire, okay? And here's the thing. That is where he started. That is not where he finished, okay? So let's now take a minute and look at then what Hunter said. I tell our students all the time, do the thing that scares you the most. Do the thing that scares you the most. So what you don't currently have the acting, the singing, the dancing, the peers, the teachers, the alumni, the mental wellness, the time commitment, and your words enwrapped and able to, be executed succinctly and properly in your local arts community, that's okay. But you have a golden opportunity today to do something different, and you know that. And you know that if in the center of your being of who and why you are here is Broadway, you know that these 9 areas have to get green. So let's look at what would happen by training with Hello Broadway. Yes? So in acting, how are you going to get a green? You're going to get a green by going through those 9 monologues throughout the year, comedic, dramatic, and Shakespearean. How are you going to get a green in singing? We are going to make sure that you have all of those things in your rep book ready to go. Golden Age up-tempo and ballad, contemporary up-tempo and ballad, and pop songs. Yes, this is all possible, and this is what we should all be doing. Yes? How are we getting a green in our dancing? We are training every single week in Golden Age, contemporary musical theater, and stylistic. It is important. All of those things matter. Yes? You're like, Robert, how do I get a green at Hello Broadway with my peers? 1, you get a supportive peer learning community. It's about the people that you surround yourself with. Yes? You're like, Robert, how do I get teachers that can keep me and get me connected? Again, Hello Broadway, 22 musicals on Broadway, 18 of them our teachers are in. You can currently see our coaches performing in these Broadway musicals: Ain't Too Proud, Aladdin, Book of Mormon, Chicago, Come From Away, Company, Dear Evan Hansen, Hadestown, Frozen, Jagged Little Pill, Hamilton, The Lion King, Mean Girls, Moulin Rouge, Phantom of the Opera, Tina, West Side Story, and Wicked. These are the people that are every single week saying your name, telling you feedback on what it is that you need to personally be doing on your work. And I know you're not getting that in your local arts community, but I'm here to tell you that if at the center of the circle you say Broadway is what it is, you have to get connected now. Moving on, mental wellness. We talked about that with our health coach and our mental health providers that we have on our team, and also about alumni. How do you get a green? These are the places where our alumni are currently studying, yes? And then we want to talk about, time commitment. Oh, sorry. Sometimes when you're live, you mess up your slides, LOL. But you know what I'm trying to say. We're all humans here. So time commitment. Again, 3 to 5 hours a week. Put in the work. Put in the work. That's what we're doing at Hello Broadway. And then our words. Again, every single week we make our students say I am statements, because your words have power. friends, all right? So what I want to invite you to is to join Hello Broadway. It is Broadway's online academy, and we are taking students and we are getting them to the center of that circle. Every single week we see our students win. And I just want to take a minute and look at what's currently happening, because I know you're saying, Robert, it's expensive. Robert, I don't have time. We're going to talk about it, okay? I said we were going to have real talk tonight. We're going to do it right now, yes? So, one, to get all of those things in the acting department that we do at Hello Broadway, it would cost you over $2,000. To get all of the dancing, it would cost you over $2,000 just for the dancing. To get all of the vocal material that we supply to you, it would cost you over $2,000. Friends, we're already up to almost $7,000, yes? To get the additional benefits, which are the 40 personalized feedback videos from your Hello Broadway coaches every single week, your 12 mentorship calls with industry-leading professionals, licensed therapists, and a licensed life coach, 3-trimester one-on-one assessments, and the 24/7 peer learning community, that is a value of about $6,400, yes? But the total value after all of those things added to the artistic portion, it comes up to almost $14,000, the value of the Hello Broadway education. I would go even further to say the Hello Broadway education, as cheesy as it sounds, is truly priceless. Because again, there are so many people out there right now doing Zoom trainings with students. Again, what did I say at the beginning? That is an experience. These people love them, and I'm so here for it. But we have to work with a curriculum. We have to work with metrics of where we want to get students, or else you're just training for the Olympics at the YMCA. And is the YMCA amazing? Yes, let me hear it for the YMCA. But I am pretty sure Michael Phelps and Simone and Ali were not there. Yes, they connected with something different. But I have some good news. Hello Broadway is not $14,000. The actual investment is $395 a month. That is 12 monthly payments of $395. Or you can save money by paying a one-time payment of $39.95, and you will have the opportunity to do that tonight. And I gotta tell you, I hear from our parents all the time. They're like, Robert, this is a steal for what you are giving our students. We over-deliver because we know that, again, that center of the circle, that Broadway, it requires more than what you're currently doing. And I know you are saying, Robert, I can't afford $395 a month. So I went into today, earlier today, I went into our Hello Broadway community, into the student group, and I said, y'all, I hear people say all the time, I can't afford Hello Broadway. And I started to think about it, and I'm always thinking how to fundraise, right? Because that's what I did when I was a kid. And I then thought, what if we actually flip it around? That it's not about fundraising, but it's about cutting out a couple of things in our current budget to make room for this. Because you're spending hundreds of hours at your local dance studio and none of your teachers have been on Broadway. They don't have a curriculum, yes? You're spending all of this time at your local theater, and where have the alumni gone on to that are currently there? Again, nothing wrong with your local arts training. Here for it, I'm a product of it. But when I said that the center of my circle was Broadway, I had to start training differently, I had to start connecting differently, and I had to start building my stamina in a different way. So here's the thing, $395 is affordable, and here's how we're gonna do it. One, tell Starbucks, girl, bye. You probably spend $7 a day, that is $35 a week. You could be saving $140 a month if you go get yourself a coffee pot, okay? Moving on, bring your lunch to school. Y'all are over here running out at school and grabbing Panera and grabbing this. Get yourself some sandwich meat, get yourself some bread, get yourself some chips. You will save $60 a week. That is $249 a month, my boo, okay? Bring your lunch to school. Moving on. Cut out 2 family restaurant trips per month. I don't know about your family, but my family of 3, we could go to a restaurant and easily drop $100, right? That's $200 a month. And if you're sitting here saying, Robert, I am not doing that. I am not cutting out my 2 restaurant trips per month. Then you don't want this bad enough. You want the excuse more than you want the result. So you're gonna have to reframe the mind and the action, because again, what did we say? Center of the circle, Broadway. How do you get that? Training, networking, and stamina. Moving on. Lord, y'all got me fired up. Moving on, cut back on online shopping. I don't know about you, but I love this thing right here. I will get on Amazon in a heartbeat at night and I will buy a pillow, I will buy a book, I will buy a candle. Y'all stop that. You can save yourself $100 a month just by cutting back on that, okay? Now, here's the other thing. I asked the kids and they said, I could cut back on my makeup shopping. If you just got one less blush and one less lipstick per month, that's $50 per month. And let me show you something. You cut those 5 things out and you save $739 a month. The fine print is you can afford $395 a month. You can do this. The question is, are you going to do this? Do you want to do this? Yes, again, I told you this was a call to action. I was not coming here today to hold you. I was here to say, yo, something has got to change because y'all are out here and you're bamboozled by the idea of celebrity versus the work that is required. And you are going to be wasting your parents' money and your precious time if you continue to invest in spaces that are not getting people where you say that you want to go. Because I'm sure if you look around your peer community, you are probably the only one that is saying the center of my circle is Broadway. A lot of people are saying the center of my circle is, this is a fun thing to do. I'm not here for this is a fun thing to do. Our faculty and our staff have worked too hard to have the Broadway careers that we have to not get you there as well, okay? So, last thing I want to talk about tonight are the 4 futures, all right? I gotta take some water. Y'all got me excited. So, moving on. So, the 4 futures. This has been fun tonight. If you've had a good time, just let me know in the comments. We are nearing the end, but I'm so serious. This is the most important part of tonight. 1, this is you, and that line, that little box all the way over there is 3 years from now, right? You and 3 years from now. That's why I asked you to write some letters to yourself. Where do you want to be in 60 days? Where do you want to be in 3 years? Where do you want to be in 6 years? So you know where you said you want to be in 3 years. So just think about that, yes? The next thing that I want you to think about is, and this is personal, your ideal state, your average state, your poor state, and your disaster state, all right? And what I mean by that is, for Hunter wanted, again, you know, the student we were just talking about that just got accepted into 12 universities. Hunter wanted to get accepted into one of his top 3 colleges, yes? That would be the ideal state. That is the green, that is the goal, that is the center of his circle his senior year. Get accepted into one of the top 3 BFA musical theater programs in the country, yes? That's his ideal state. The average state was get on, you know, somewhere, you know, Hunter auditioned to, I believe, 20 programs. The average state was get into one of my schools that was on my list between 10 to 15, yes? His poor state was get into a non-audition program. Essentially a program that you can sign up for, a certificate program, yes? So again, Hunter wanted to ideally, the top goal was 1, get into one of those top 3 colleges. The average was get somewhere on my list, he auditioned for 20 schools, between 10 to 15, yes? The poor state for Hunter, again, everybody's 4 futures is going to be different. This is about you right now, boo, okay? The poor state was if Hunter did not get into any of those schools, and he only was able to go to a certificate program where he just signed up, where he only signed up, yes? And the disaster was not going to any school at all. Like, so again, the disaster state is no prospects, and the ideal is top 3 schools. So I need you right now to think about what are your 4 futures? Where could you possibly see yourself? Ideally, average, poor, and disaster in 3 years, okay? And yes, this exercise is pretty powerful, so I'm excited. Moving on. I'm just giving you some mile markers for where you are in year 1 and where you are in year 2. Now, I want to break it down a little further for you. So, these lines show your trajectory. They show the action steps that you are actively taking. And what I want you to know is that if you look at that circle, that's that little square, that says you, everyone about right there all had the ability to get to the ideal state. Everybody had the opportunity. We all started at the same place. We all had the way to cut out $395 out of our monthly budget to get to the ideal state. We all had it, even in, right here in this area right here, to get to the average state. Hey, that's still winning. That's still winning. That is still winning. That is still winning, yes? But something happened here to get to the poor state. Something happened here to get to the disaster state, yes? And what that was is that people did not take the opportunity that was in front of them. They went different roads. They said, you know what? I am gonna continue to only do what I'm doing locally because it works. It doesn't. It doesn't. And so my invitation to you today is, where do you wanna be? Where do you want to be? And when you know where you want to be, as my mama always says, when you know better, you do better. So I know that tonight was a little different than usual, but tonight again is the most important conversation that we are going to have this year. Because if we've learned anything from this pandemic, you get a golden opportunity to turn a problem into possibility. You can turn this moment into training. You can turn this moment into connections. You can turn this moment into stamina building. And I'm going to tell you right now, the people that do, they're going to get to that ideal state. They're going to get those wins. So I cannot thank you enough for being with us tonight on Fully Committed. We are so excited to welcome you all into Hello Broadway, our online academy, where we are every single week getting our students the wins that you say that you want to get. Registration is now open, and registration will be closing on Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I want you to click that link below, and I want you to get yourself to that ideal state because you deserve it. So get out of your way and get to work. I cannot wait to see you in the academy. Good night, friends.
I think personally what surprised me the most was how much one-on-one and personalized feedback we got. The coaches really go through each and every one, and they know your name and they remember what you did last month. So I think what really surprised me is how much they knew me and they knew where I was growing month to month.
What surprised me the most was how open the schedule was and how easily accessible the program was, because I remember when I started, I just remember I was like, I have all these vacations and traveling days coming up, I can't do this. But the first assignment I did, I literally learned it in the car.
It's definitely given me the confidence that I'm able to pick things up. And when I do shows, like I did a show last year, they recognized my professionalism and how I took my work seriously. And that's how I got a better role than I did the year before.
As a person, it's definitely made me more responsible because I've been able to manage things better. It really does help my management skills.
I think that Hello Broadway has made me more adaptable, not only as an artist, but as a person.
I think training right now is so important because this is the time to do it.
When given the choice, do I want to do a community show or do I want to do training? Most people choose, I want to do the show. They're doing Newsies, they're doing whatever it may be. They want to do the show, but right now when we can't really do shows, now is the perfect time, I think, to do training, especially when you're at home with so much time. Why not now to put in the effort?
The best work comes when it's not an ideal situation, and this is definitely not an ideal situation, but what better opportunity do you have to create work and to improve and to take a situation that has brought a lot of people sadness and bring something that you can be proud of.
At the Broadway Collective, we are dedicated to making premier musical theater accessible to young, aspiring performers. Digital classroom. Hello Broadway was developed and produced by Broadway performers with musical theater BFA degrees because we know exactly what it takes to make it in this industry, whether you're in high school, collegiate, or even if you're trying to go after this at the professional level. Our online classroom offers weekly video master classes, personalized feedback from Broadway performers who are currently working in the industry, and the dance, vocal, and monologue materials that you are going to need to build a comprehensive audition-ready portfolio. I'm Robert Hartwell. I am the founder and artistic director at 7 years old. Do it all again. I wish that I would have had a program like Hello Broadway where I could get my singing, my dancing, and my acting and artistic mentorship in one place. We know finding the time for training can be tough when you are juggling school, family, and friends, so we thoughtfully designed Hello Broadway to be flexible enough to work within your schedule, yet structured enough to provide weekly training to help you gain the skills and the results that you need in the time that you have. So, curious to see how we get our students' results? Let's take a closer look. At the beginning of each, that is, a performer or casting professional currently working in the industry sets the stage for that week's skills training through a short video masterclass.
Right? Someone who's declaring that they're going to do something they've never done before, they're not shifting around on their feet. You're not like, you're not moseying around. You are planted.
Okay.
All right? So I just want you to focus. I want you to think about that. You have roots in the ground that are planting you, that are allowing you to go forward on this journey, yeah?
Okay.
You will hear from Tony Award-winning performers, take in choreography inspired by Broadway's biggest shows, and join artistic mentorship lessons with talent agents, directors, stage managers, and other Broadway experts, all from your smartphone. And by hearing directly from experts currently working in the industry, you gain new perspectives and refine your industry knowledge. Here's a few of our recent coaches to give you an idea of the caliber of our coaching roster.
It does teach you what it means to be a human in the world and how to express yourself.
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
To come in and go, I'm game. I don't know what's going to come out. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I'm here to play.
Totally.
I think you have to find your passion, find your purpose, and let life be the journey.
Students then download the provided learning materials, sheet music, accompaniment tracks, monologues, choreographic tutorials, and learn their audition cut for that week. After uploading a performance of that week's assignment, the student will receive personalized, specific, and actionable feedback straight from their Broadway coach. That means you have weekly opportunities to have your work constructively critiqued by Broadway's biggest stars and industry insiders.
When you inhale and take in breath, your lungs expand and your ribs move outward, and your diaphragm goes down. Diaphragm down as long as possible. Also, pull in your belly button. Try to pull your belly button toward your back. That will help with support. It will take some of the strain off.
That brings me to the second pillar of our programs, a supportive peer learning community. Because when you enter into our Hello Broadway online classroom, you are expected and encouraged to engage. The diversity of skill level, background, even internationally in our program. Here are a few ways that you will interact with other aspiring performing artists in Hello Broadway. First, by participating in our weekly performance reviews on Canvas, which is the industry's leading online learning platform, you will share your performance videos and have access to your fellow classmates' performances and feedback so that you can further enrich your learning experience. Here, you will also be able to pose questions, share your support for other classmates' performances, and instantly receive recognition for your efforts. Encouraged to live within our exclusive Hello Broadway Facebook group. Here you will chat with other students, connect with your coaches, and receive access to the Broadway Collective extras like surprise guest live interviews, wellness and nutrition recommendations, and truly so much more. Now listen, we recognize that students face a lot of pressures when training for their dream. That's why we've added a new feature to Hello Broadway. Time management and stress management exercises led by life coaches and also licensed therapists. Each month, you will join a group video call that provides you with the toolkit that you are going to need to stay focused, calm, and confident about your performance. These are the tools that you are going to need for successful auditions, whether it be a college program of your choice or the role of a lifetime. Finally, at the end of each trimester, our students undergo an assessment with their Broadway coaches. Now, this assessment not only evaluates the students' current progress in the program, but it sketches a roadmap for future success, both in and out of Hello Broadway. Now, friends, I know that you want to work on Broadway one day, and we want to help you get there. And that is why we created an online learning experience that brings young aspiring performers together and gives them real-world, real-time musical theater training from the most qualified, successful Broadway performers working today. I'll see you in the Academy.